Hi Scorpio, welcome to this reading. My name is Linda. This reading is going to be for the period of the month of August, and it's applicable for anyone who is under the influence of Scorpio. That means Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Ascendant, or also Scorpio Moon, or you could be watching this reading if the person of interest that you're dealing with is a Scorpio, in which case sometimes the roles can be reversed in the readings, so keep that in mind. I've already shuffled the decks and laid your spread down. This is where you are now, the challenge you face, the resources you can use. This is the hidden forces. This is the potential outcome. And from the runes, I'll take one to understand what's the spiritual lesson in your situation. Okay. You have two major arcana cards in your spread. You have the Death card and the Lovers. So with the Death card being in the position of where you are now, it's describing here that there can be a fairly major transition happening in your life with an ending of a cycle or an ending of a situation, an ending of a period or an ending of a chapter in your life. And that could be bringing about some fairly major need to reevaluate where you are and what you're doing, and perhaps also why you're doing it. Maybe even more importantly, why are you doing it? In the position of the challenge you face is the Eight of Pentacles in the upright position. I feel like for some of you, some of what this changing energy is, or this transitional energy is, has to do with your career or the work that you do in the world. I feel like for some of you, especially with this Four of Cups here in the top line as well, you may have had a growing sense of dissatisfaction or boredom or apathy or disinterest in your work for some time. And there could have been a situation that occurred recently where maybe forces that are seemingly outside of your control have maybe brought about a change in your work, or maybe a need for the change in your work. For example, some of you may have lost your job. But I feel like for some people watching this reading, you losing your job is as much about you being unhappy about that kind of work that you were doing anyways, as much as maybe the situation for your employer has changed as well, meaning that whatever forces required your employer to terminate your employment, I feel like you might have been simply disinterested for a while in that work anyway. And so while it might be awkward or uncomfortable or inconvenient for you to not have a stream of income right now, I feel like for some of the people watching this reading, you don't really mind losing that job because you didn't like it anyway. That's what I feel. So for some people, this is a time of reevaluating the kind of work you do in the world and figuring out how you want to change direction and how you're going to pivot from this change that's occurred recently where your circumstances have shifted, and there may be a need for you to reevaluate how you want to work and where you want to work and what type of work you want to do. You can see in the Eight of Pentacles, this card is the challenge you face, and this card is very much about work. I'm hearing toil. So the thing I love about the Eight of Pentacles is that it's a very humble card. It's a very steady, working, progressive kind of energy. It's like someone who is a craftsperson or an artisan. It's not like the grandiose kind of energy of, like, let's say, I'm going to change direction. The Eight of Pentacles is a very humble card. It's someone who is just repeating the task over and over again until they perfect it, or until it's like it's about quality. You know, the Eight of Pentacles is about quality. It's about repetition as well. It's also about consistency and patience. It's about maintaining a high standard or achieving a high standard. It can also be about learning. You know, it could be about learning new skills. So for some of you, there might be some study involved around this time, or you may be choosing to, as a way of kind of transitioning out of a previous career path into something new, you might be choosing to take on some type of study now to learn a new skill so that you can have, you know, better resources, internal resources to move forward maybe into a new career path that you've been interested in maybe for a while, but you haven't taken moves yet towards. And maybe if you have lost your job during this time, then this is the catalyst or the motivation for you to actually start to undertake that course of study to get those skills so that you can move into new areas that are more appealing and more fun, more interesting for you. Now, on the bottom line here, we have, what are the hidden forces? You have the Lovers upright. Now, the Lovers can be about a decision. It can also describe a potentially a new relationship coming in, but I kind of feel more like this reading is just about you and not necessarily about other people in your energy. So the way I'm going to read the Lovers in this situation is that because there's been some kind of sudden, unexpected event that has catalyzed you into some kind of shift here that you maybe wanted to make but didn't move towards because you were just kind of being a little bit passive in your situation and just kind of continuing on with what was already in front of you without actively catalyzing your own situation. Now there's some energy happening here where there is an ending to something, or some kind of change has been affected maybe from external sources, and that's maybe now forcing you to have to make decisions about how you're going to move forward. And you might not have necessarily brought on this experience of change by your own volition, meaning like you didn't necessarily choose to lose your job, but maybe on a subconscious level you have been wanting to make some changes and you have been wanting to move towards something different, but you've been maybe letting things stagnate a little bit and not being proactive about making choices forward that would initiate better situation or better circumstances for yourself, because you've just been maybe in the mode of just kind of keeping your head down and toiling away at what's in front of you, even if it's been boring or dissatisfying for you for a while. So this is saying here that this is a choice point here. Maybe something external has been catalyzed to kind of force you into the position of making a choice, but now I feel like I need to give you the message that it's time for you to become a little bit more empowered about the situation, and don't make choices out of survival mode. Make choices out of what you really want your future to look like. You know, like move towards what is really satisfying. The resources here, this card, the Four of Cups in reverse, is talking about the resources you can use. So how I'm reading this Four of Cups in reverse is it's about figuring out what will really satisfy you and make choices that will bring you in that direction, rather than just making choices that you are doing as a knee-jerk reaction to circumstances that are making you feel afraid for your future because maybe your security is under question. This is a point where it's up to you now to navigate forward from here using your visionary abilities to design the future that you want, to design the lifestyle that you want, and know that it takes work to get there, but you have to dream big, you have to visualize what you want, and you have to believe in yourself and trust your own process, trust your own ability, and also trust the universe to support you in the decisions that you make to help move you to a space where your dreams become a reality. But it starts within. It starts from within. It starts with a decision. And once that decision is made, then it's about taking action, slow, steady, practical, disciplined, patient action towards that vision in order to actualize it. Now, this next card here, this is the potential outcome. You have the Five of Crystals in reverse. This is the Five of Swords in other decks. How I'm seeing this in context of the rest of your reading is that this is about managing how you think about the situation. Again, I feel like the Lovers and the Five of Crystals are very, very connected in this energy on the bottom line, where in order to move forward towards the future that you want, it's about making that choice, right? This is a choice point. You're at a kind of crossroads here. And the Five of Swords in reverse is telling me that this is about not like talking yourself down. This is, from how I'm seeing this, is that this is about your inner dialogue. This is about not second guessing yourself or telling yourself that you can't have what you want, or that what you think you want to do, or where you think you want to go is not possible. It's about that inner dialogue. Normally the Five of Swords, Five of Crystals can be about like people debating, or about how, you know, people were in an argumentative or conflict energy. But again, as I said earlier, I feel like this reading is not talking about anybody else. This is about you. And I feel that the Five of Swords here is speaking very clearly to your inner dialogue and the way you're communicating to yourself through your thoughts, and how you need to approach this situation in order to come to the best possible outcome is to overcome negativity in the mind, overcome the inner dialogue that is kind of asking you to step down from your desires and wishes because you don't think it's possible. The other voice needs to be louder. The voice that is optimistic, the voice that is believing and trusting in life and in yourself, the voice that is magical and has like unlimited potential and can feed that to you, is the one that needs to be the most vocal here, or the loudest. Because if you let this Five of Swords play you and talk you down from following your dreams, you're going to be in this energy again. You might have a situation here where you've lost your job, for example, as I said at the beginning. There could have been some kind of situation happen here where circumstances have taken a turn and you maybe didn't plan for it, or you weren't planning for it, but somehow you've been unsatisfied in what you've been doing anyways. So if you don't utilize this energy in the potential way that it's being offered to you by the universe, and seeing it as a turning point where you can actually now start to move towards a higher path, or a more the future that you want to visualize for yourself, where it is all about your dreams manifesting, you could end up generating another situation for yourself where it's just like an unsatisfying job that you do for money and it doesn't really bring you further. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to put in a little bit of effort here, mentally, emotionally, and physically, to generate a turning point here, or a change that has been catalyzed by the universe, by some perhaps externalized event, in order to harness the potential energy of the situation here to bring you to a place where you can actually forge and carve out a new future that is more in alignment with what your deepest soul's desire is. Now let's take a look at this rune. This rune is called Yira, and it's about harvest. So it's kind of everything we've been talking about. But I feel like the energy of this rune is, again, also speaking about the potential energy of this situation. So this rune represents what your spiritual lesson is in this circumstance. And again, the message of this rune is about harvest. So it's about the work you put in and what you get as a result, what you earn as a result of the efforts made. So I feel like this is a pretty clear message from your higher self and from your guides to say, don't be too lax. Don't languish in this energy. Really take the opportunity that's being presented to you and see the potential that's there for what it is. And don't fall back into your own old ways of just being, making do with what's available, what's been provided, or what's in front of you, but rather seek to visualize higher, seek to make choices that will bring you to a different outcome than the one you're in now, but ones that will require you to put in more effort than you're currently putting in. Trust that you can achieve what you want to. Know that the universe will support you, but that you cannot be lazy about it. You cannot be apathetic about it. You have to forge ahead here and move forward with more practical application of learning new skills, taking a different path, moving in a new direction, being willing to go on a learning curve, and being willing to kind of go on a bit of a climb in order to achieve a greater situation, or a more comfortable or more interesting or more dynamic future for yourself than the one that you seem to be on this trajectory now, which has been unsatisfying. You need to put in a little bit more effort here. And you need to realize that maybe you have more things to learn, that you don't know everything that there is to know right now. But you have to make the choice to want to envision a different future and work towards it by being willing to learn new skills, to maybe receive advice from people, to maybe have to undergo an apprenticeship, or be in a job where maybe you're starting from a lower position on the ladder than you were in your last job, but the potential that it has to bring you to is much greater than just staying in a job where you're kind of repeating the same task all the time and there's no challenge. Okay, Scorpio. Just checking over here, but I feel that's it for your reading. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there you can work with. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.